So do you have any questions for me or Peace Camp or anything?
Well, I don't have a question, but I want to give you hope that there can be a peaceful world, and it's going to leave it up to you and the younger generation to make sure that happens. So you got a lot of work to do.
I'd like to invite us all to put our hearts and our minds together in the memory of Millee. If we're real believers, then we know that we don't really go anywhere, and Millee is still with us. And so I would like us all to, I invite you to have that attitude. And Millee was a person, an influencer. She was not a person who would demand things of people, but she would remind us of things. I've known Millee over 40 years. We were in the early organizational gatherings in Auburn, and we began to recognize each other, support one another. Auburn was a very different place then than it is now. But Millee brought ideas, and Millee established her ideas. She manifested her ideas. She was not just a talker, but she made things happen. She would inspire us. She would help to organize us. She would see it through. And most importantly, I think, she established an annual order that things would live in legacy beyond herself. Today is proof of that legacy. While she's not here with us in the physical, she is with us in her legacy. And that legacy is going to outlive all of us. And if we learned anything from Millee, if we were inspired by Millee, then let's carry those values, those principles, and those skills forward. Then let's live for her, and we will carry on her legacy and to ensure that it is a better world that she envisioned.
Hi, I just want to share some wonderful things about my dear friend Millee Livingston. She taught me so much. She taught everybody in this community so much. She was such a passionate person about peace and equality and justice and love and education. And she spread those seeds everywhere she went with people she worked with. And I've known her for 20 years. She lived in my house the last 6 years of her life, and we were just dear, dear friends. And she would always tell me how when she first moved to Auburn, she went looking for a Martin Luther King Jr. celebration, and nobody was doing anything. So Millee made some signs and went with a couple of her friends and went to the city hall and stood there with her signs out so people could see them when they were driving by. And she would always tell me that was something that was important for her to do. And over the years, the Martin Luther King celebration just grew and developed and became a community event in Auburn. And Millee was the kind of person who would get everybody involved in things. She walked the walk and talked the talk. She didn't just come up with ideas and then leave you to implement them. She was very much involved in all of that, and she would drag me into all kinds of things with her, whether it was Peace Camp, Martin Luther King, doing plays, helping her produce plays, all kinds of things. And they were all around the issues of peace and social justice and economic equality. Those were things that were so important to her and children. And I'm just excited that we are honoring her today after her passing in September, because I believe it's just the thing to do that she would want to do, whether she's looking down on us or not looking down on us, whatever she's doing or wherever she may be, that we honor Millee and thank her for the person she was, what she's given to all of us as a friend, as a colleague, as an activist. And I'm just so glad that we are making this time for her today to honor her. Thank you, Millee.
You only have to meet Millee once to be affected by her light and her love, inspired by her heart, selflessness. wonderful, amazing human being that lives on through our actions, through our dedication, through our kindness, through our peace. We love you, Millee.
Millee Livingston dedicated her life to activism in all the best ways. She stayed connected with people who were passionate no matter where she went. She organized programs and events and celebrations to raise awareness and bring activism to small towns like our own. She never stopped being loud about injustice, and most importantly, she made sure that her legacy would live on through Martin Luther King Day in Auburn, California, Peace Camp, and the impact that she had on all of our lives. I will be forever grateful for her contribution to paving the way for my life today and the future of activism. Thank you, Millee.
Millee was such a force in our community and has impacted so many lives through her efforts and just the way that she dedicated herself to people, to our community, and especially our young people. I'm just so grateful we got to spend the time we did and learn from her and follow in her footsteps and her leadership in peace and justice. Thank you, Millee. We love you.
Millee's legacy went far beyond bringing Martin Luther King Day to Auburn, which in itself was a beautiful thing. She really left her mark on her community, wherever that was, wherever she lived, left her mark on the youth and really just all generations. And her legacy, you know, it's a hard act to follow, but we are dedicated to keeping that alive and keeping some of the projects and things she was most passionate about going as long as we're able, and hopefully we can pass it on to the next generation. Thank you, Millee, for everything. We love you.
Hi, boys and girls. You having fun? Yes! All this is my fault. But I want you all to know how happy I am to see you and to know that you will take this on for the rest of your life, your good experiences having a peace camp. Because it's up to you. You're the next generation that's going to come and make peace in the world, and justice and freedom for everyone. Yes. Have a great time. Love you. Bye. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Miss Millee. Thank you, Miss Millee. Thank you, Miss Millee. Thank you, Miss Millee.
Thank you, Millee.
Thank you, Miss Millee.
When I first was, Danielle told me you have to be there because we're giving you an award. I said, well, I'm going to be there anyway, so whatever.